Jia Tixing said, there are also people who come to the students. It's hard to tell the superior. Since it's like this, now bring it up. Give him a warning and let him go, Simon King said, sir. It makes sense. If you fall into my hands again, you will live in prison to death. Get out. Even Honor drank it and went out to save money and water. He was desperate. Business matters are irrelevant here. It is said that Earl Ying took 5 taels of silver, and the book-seeking boy asked him for advice and quietly handed him the silver. The book boy took over. The young boy was completely incompatible with each other and called out, Brother Shedong, I have something to say to you. Yesterday, my brother Ping'an picked up Wen Yang's sedan chair, and he was in the front shop again. Eat, not with him. He also said, what are you doing in the study with Dad for a living? The book boy heard this and kept it in mind without mentioning it. Uncle Wu also sent 6 posts and asked the ladies to eat for 3 days tomorrow. It turns out that Wu Shenshen, Wu's brother-in-law, married sister Zheng Sanji, the niece of Qiao Dahu's wife. And Simon King sent tea to him to invite him. When Simon King came to the back, Yunyang took the post and showed it to him. Simon King said, you will all pack up tomorrow. After that, he came out and sat down in the study. The book boy quickly took the charcoal stove to burn sweet cakes and handed the tea to them with both hands. Simon King has tea in hand. He slowly came closer and stood at the table. The boy took the opportunity and said, I have something to do, but my father is not asking. I don't dare to say it, Simon King said. You might as well say so. The book boy told the safe story the day before yesterday. My father called the child to the house. He and the painting boy listened outside the window. The child came out to scoop water and washed his hands with his father. I saw it in person. He scolded the child at others outside. He is a barbarian slave who bullies the younger ones in every possible way. After Simon King heard this, he was furious and said, it doesn't matter if I don't remove the slave's legs. He was talking in the study here. Dad is in the study. Chunmai was hit on the head. Simon King heard the sound of skirts inside and knew someone was coming. He quickly pushed the boy away and fell asleep on the bed. The boy was making pens and inkstones on the table. Chunmai opened the door and came in. When she saw Simon King, she smacked her lips and said, you guys stay quietly in the room with the door closed. How dare you stay together? Mother, please speak. Simon King was sleeping on the pillow and said, little oily mouth. What did he ask me to say? You go ahead and I'll go after I've done it. Chunmai tolerated him and said, if you don't go, I'll pull you up. Normally, when I went in, the boy was writing in front of the table, but he stabbed him on the bed and refused to come back. Pan Jinlian said, if he comes into my house, he is afraid that someone will eat him. Thieves have no shame. I watched. When he came to write the gift note, I lay it on the bed. Jinlian said, you are writing a gift note behind closed doors. What secret rumors? What kind of 3-legged King Kong and Zhaojing horned elephants? Are you afraid of being seen? Others also have hairpins, and some it's for flowers. If I don't have it, I won't go, Simon King said. I'll take a piece of red yarn from the kitchen cabinet in front and make money with you. Jinlian said, I can't go, and I don't want those raunchy movies. Take them out and dump them to make people laugh. Simon King said, stop. Wait for me to go upstairs over there and look for something with him. That's it, nowadays. Sending congratulatory gifts to Tokyo only costs a few feet, so we'll just find them in one go. Li Ping'er said, you don't want to take it from the shop. I have a dress made of gold-woven silk. It's a red shirt and a blue skirt. It's useless to keep either of them. I've made both of them as worshippers. Take it out of the box. Li Ping'er took it personally and looked at Jinlian. You can pick it up with your sister. You can also get a shirt and a skirt. It's better for the two of us to take care of it and make money to save it. Jinlian said, how can I get yours? Li Ping'er said, good sister, why are you so talkative? After pushing for a long time, Jinlian finally agreed. Then he went out to teach Chen Jingji how to change his girdle, and wrote their names on it without any title. Ping'er was at the front of the gate when Bai Guang came and asked, "Is the official at home?" Ping'er said, "My father is not at home anymore." Bai Guang didn't believe it, so he walked into the inner hall and saw the wooden door closed, and said, "Sure enough, he is not at home. Where did he go?" Ping'er said, "I went to see him off today, but he hasn't come yet." Bai Guang said, "Since we are seeing you off, it's time for us to come home tonight." Ping'er said, "Uncle Bai, tell me what you want to say. When Dad comes home, I'll take care of my little talent." Bai Guang said, "Nothing much. I just haven't seen him for a long time, so I came to take a look. Since he's not here, I'll just wait." Ping'er said, "I'm afraid I'm too late. You old man can't wait." Ying Chuner dropped the satin and couldn't walk back. Bai Guang said, "Brother is not at home." He walked down and sang. When Simon King saw him, he couldn't refuse and had to ask for his seat. On New Year's Day, I have to worship cards, draw official thrones, and give out big gifts. The Baoji's squadron soldier beat Mao when he returned home. He was very poor and had no time to spare. Today he went out because he had to set up camp in JinPingMei and Nangxi. It was extremely hard work for several days. After speaking half Japanese, Anna brought tea. Bai Bengwing took it in his hand and took a sip when he saw Diane running in with a big red post and Anno. Ansing, the torturer, Father Jia, is here. He's dismounted outside. Simon King went to the back to get dressed. Bai Bengwing hid in the west wing, looking through the curtain. Their surname is Zhang. He is not a Jinshi. The cards have been sent to Dongchang. Everyone will get up tomorrow to take over, although you and I are military attacks. The leader of the Imperial Yemen. The student can find a nunnery, a temple, or a manor, and teach a cook to take care of it early. Jia Tixing thanked him and said, "It's time for the commander to worry about this." After saying that, after having another cup of tea, Jia Tixing got up and laughed. Although he didn't say anything, everyone feels uneasy. "Why don't we have an opinion when my brother is the leader? I will invite him to the meeting soon." Simon King said, "If you don't have time to say goodbye, just leave." "Where will you have time to do this?" "When you have free time. Just hold a wedding ceremony at Mr. Wu's place every year and repay heaven and earth. It's up to you whether you know how to do it or not. Come and talk to me." Bai Guang said goodbye and laughed. Simon King returned to the hall, pulled up a chair and sat down, and everyone called Ping'er. When Ping'er walked up to him, Simon King scolded him, "You thief slave, are you still standing? I was lagging behind and bumped into me when I didn't want to come out." Simon King scolded, "You slave, don't talk. Are you so cowardly? When people come in, you go there to make money and drink, and don't guard the front door." Ling's Wozuo, smell what he says. Double quotes. The platoon soldier took a whiff and said, "It doesn't smell of alcohol." Simon King then ordered, "Call 2 people who are good at torture to come up and beat this slave. With me." At that moment, counting beside him, he stopped when he hit 50. Simon King then ordered 20 sticks. He was beaten 20 times in a moment, and the skin and flesh were torn and his legs were bloody. Simon King ordered, "Let me go." Shan said that Pan Jinlian came out of the room and walked back. As soon as he reached the back door of the hall, he saw Meng Yulu alone behind the soft wall, listening. The chess boy said, "Dad." He was angry with Bai Guang. Jin Lian took it and said, "I didn't come here just to let Bai Guang in. I dared to beat him with ivory. If I didn't beat him with ivory, why would I beat him like this? He is a shameless thief, and he has made the decision. Double quotes. It's okay if you want to have some sense of shame." The chess boy laughed. "Even if the barbarian slaves take care of the whole family tomorrow, don't care about other people's business. They talk and laugh when they see each other. We are unlucky, and our actions are like black-eyed chickens. There is no chance of a thief What a robber with a sudden change of heart. Tong was fascinated by Shinhu, and now he is in love with him. Third sister, listen. What kind of weird things will come out tomorrow? Today, for money, I got together with him again, angry. But when I came home, I was in the study. First he gave me a piece of red yarn as a token of worship, but I didn't want it. Then he went upstairs to look for Li Pinger. The thief was cowardly and knew that he was wrong. He took a set of gold-woven clothes from his box and came to kill me personally. I just didn't want it. He panicked and said, "Sister, why are you so careless? My sister can't even pick a shirt." Yes, the skirt is also required. After reading it, I took it to the front and taught Brother Chen to seal it. After half a day, I vomited. He asked me to ask for the shirt. Yulu joked, "Liu girl, you are gluten, but you have Jin Dao." As they spoke, the two laughed. I saw Xiaoyu coming to invite her. Sanyang, fifth Niang. We are going to eat crabs later. I will go and invite sixth Niang and the eldest girl. Who do you want to beat? So you beat him. Why did you come? Jinlian said. I discounted the ivory for him. Yunyang was honest and asked, "Where do you put the ivory? Why did you get a discount?" Pan Jinlian and Meng Yulu were laughing and joking. Yunyang said, "I don't know why you laugh every time and don't tell me." Yulu said, "Sister, you don't know. Dad came to put Bai Laiguang in peace." Yunyang said, "It's just a matter of putting in the white light. Why do you say beating the ivory?" I haven't seen such an inexperienced person sitting at home replaced with his bed closed. It's just a matter of course. It doesn't matter what he bumped into, Lion said. He's here to see his father. Yunyang said, the one hanging off the Kang is here. Wang, it's not a shame. It's just that he came to wipe his mouth and eat. After a long time, Li Pinger and her eldest sister arrived. And everyone gathered round to eat crabs. Yunyang said, let's go buy some roasted duck tonight. Li Pinger blushed after hearing this. Exactly. The words contain profound meanings, and the titles contain careful thoughts. That Yunyang is an honest person. He Xiao's words are true to their words. Eating crabs is not a problem here. Let's say that Ping En'er was scolded and went outside. Everyone from Baisi and Lakesing came to ask Ping En'er, why did Dad hit you? Ping En'er cried, I know why. Lakesinger said, Dad is angry. He put in Bai Laiguang. Ping En said, you were watching from the beginning. I waited for him to stop him, but he just forced himself in. Unexpectedly, my father came out from behind and bumped into me. He didn't say much. He ate tea and didn't get up. I saw Father Jia. When he came, I said he had gone, but he still hid in the side room and didn't go. He waited until he got some wine to eat. He beat me for this, but you said him not good enough. Didn't I stop him? He also said that I didn't stop him. He forced himself in and took care of my legs. Beat me. That dog bone bull guy who taught me how to kill men and steal women from prostitution will be. I won't bite any dog that breaks into my house. If you are a thief and a thief, you will become a thief and Wang Bazass. Lai Xing laughed and said, people don't know if they are a thief. They only say that they are a thief. Shameful. Everyone laughed. Ping En said, it must be that there is no rice to cook at home. And my wife is not sure how hungry she is. She has nothing to do, so she comes to someone else's house to eat. It's not common practice to save a meal at home. I'm so depressed that I panic. You still agree to your master. You don't know the master's character. How can you blame people? If I don't beat you, who will I beat? Bai Si joked. Ping En'er has become a child again. He has just learned Shangxian, but he is also naughty and only kicks Mao Qiu all day long. The son is playing tricks. Everyone laughed again. Bai Si said, he just wanted to let people in. But why did the painting boy also eat a bunch of fruit with him? What kind of delicious fruit is it? Eat it with him. Even when he eats wine and meat, he has a companion, and his 10 fingers are wrapped in a bunch of fruit. Is there someone to accompany you? The painting boy rubbed his hands and just cried. Diane joked, my son, don't cry. You are such a delicate mother. I tie the buns on your hands with a rope, but you still won't eat them. The boy in front here is hot and confused. Lake Sing's daughter-in-law followed her in a small sedan chair and went to Wu Dajin's house for 3 days. Sun Zui was left at home, looking after the house with Sister Ximen. It's a pity that I have vented my anger on the villain, and the whole family is grateful. It's not a small thing. Just to show a little bit of poverty, I hope my father will accept it at least. Simon King said, "This can't be done. You are my servant and we are like a family. How can I accept your gift, even if the original man carries me back with you? And say to Han Daoguo, you will call the security guard later to watch the shop. Come and sit down." Han Daoguo said, "I don't accept the gift, and I have to worry about it." Ying Nuo went. "How can I have it all to myself? Please sit with him. Double quotes. The Earl said, "He is arguing with me and wants to buy a gift. I said you are rare in the government, so don't bother. Just give it to him, and he will never accept it." "How? I feel like I have punched you in the stomach." What happened was really not his fault. After talking, they had tea and the two of them played Shuanglu. Simon King said, "Silly dog. There is a crab over there. To tell you the truth, Mr. Zhu, who is in charge of the village, gave me 2 packages of crabs. So far, all the ladies have eaten them, leaving a few to be pickled. He told the boys, bring some pickled crabs. Today, all the ladies are going to Wu Yuzi's house to cook for 3 days." After a while, the painting boy brought 2 plates of pickled crabs. Earl Nang and Zishi both rushed over and ate all the food. At this time, who will draw the eyebrows that are pale? Because spring brings sorrow. Why is it that spring has gone? After saying goodbye, the mountains and rivers are far away. I counted your return date, but I lost a little bit of my paintings. Brother, it's not for us to reward you, but you don't like having people like you around you. Simon King smiled, afraid of Ju said, "Brother, why are you laughing? I'm serious about what I said. Don't let this kid show off his clothes and look at him differently. It's hard for Mr. Li to send him here. He's also his kindness." Simon King said, "That's right. Now that I'm not at home, everything in the study is handled by him and my son-in-law. My son-in-law also wants to take care of the shop." Earl Ying drank and poured 2 glasses. The Earl said, "Eat some for me." The boy said, "Young ones don't dare to eat. They don't know how to eat." The Earl said, "If you don't eat, I'll be annoyed. How can I reward you?" The book boy just looked at Simon King. Simon King said, "That's all right. You should eat as your second father rewards you." The boy slapped him, slowly lowered his pink neck and took a sip. The remaining half of the wine was held in his hands and he ate it with the count. Just then he turned around, handed Zishi a big drink, and sang another song. Shi Daodao said, "What a good boy." Yi Zhao handed the drink to him. "Come down and pass it to Han Daoguo." Daoguo said, "Father, how dare you deceive me?" Simon King said, "Today you are a guest." Han Daoguo said, "That makes sense. It's better to start from the father, and then the villain eats the wine." The book boy came down from the table and handed Simon some wine to celebrate, and sang another song. After Simon King finished eating, he went to Han Daoguo. Han Daoguo stood up in a hurry to receive the drink. The Earl said, "Sit down and teach him how to sing." Han Daoguo just sat down. The book boy sang another song. Han Daoguo drank it all in one gulp before he could finish his words. In the middle of drinking, I saw Diane coming in saying, "Uncle Ben is here, please speak to me." Simon King said, "Just ask him to come here to talk." After a while, Ben C came in, bowed forward, and sat down next to him. "The dust is still need 20 taels of silver," Simon King said. "The ashes don't matter. I'll tell the ashes in the Yemen tomorrow to send them to him." Yesterday, Mr. Liu from your brick factory said he would give me some bricks. You can give him a few bricks and a few taels of silver. I must go back with half of my humanity. All I need is this wooden plant, Bai Si said. Yesterday, my father told me to look at the village outside the door and a group of rooms on the first floor. He was hooked. He said he wanted 500 taels. Go to him and get the silver and tell him that if he paid 350 taels, He should also demolish it. Stop talking. Timber, bricks and tiles, and even earth are worth 1 or 200 taels of silver. Earl Ying said, I wonder who is here. It's Xiangwu's Zhuangzi. Xiangwu was being fought over for land, and he was accused of being stationed in the field. A lot of money was spent on the lawsuit. He also kept Luo Cunner in the courtyard. Now I have no money in my hand. Bai Si said, the villain understands. After a long time, a bowl of soup and a plate of steamed cakes were brought up from behind, and Bai Si ate them. Pour it out and drink with everyone, the book boy sang at once, and went down. Earl Ying said, it's not fun to drink wine like this. Get a dice basin and we can eat as ordered. Simon King said, put down the pot and ask a boy to take it with a lantern. Yin asked, where are those 2 boys? Diane said, the piano boy and the chess boy will take the 2 lanterns first. When the Earl saw 6 dice placed in the basin, he picked up one in his hand and said, I will throw a few dice, and everyone will ask for a name for the domino if the numbers match. If you can't say it, you will be fined a large cup of dice, liquor. If you don't know how to sing and tell jokes, if you don't know how to do 2 things, you will be punished by a large drink. Simon King said, it's a strange dog talent. It's too bad. The Earl said, Your Majesty farts. I'm so proud of you. What do you care about me? Called Lion, pour me a glass first. I will kill my father, and then I will be able to follow my orders. Simon King laughed and drank. The Earl said, everyone, listen. I'm issuing an order. If you miss the mark, you'll be fined a drink, said. Zhang Sheng fell drunk in the west chamber. How much wine did he drink? 1 big pot. 2 small pots. Sure enough, it was 1. Simon King asked the boy to come up and pour the wine. It was time to go home and sing. Saida clapped her hands and said, I'll sing the Ling of Gui Gui for you to listen to. Whoever is destined to be married is the bodhisattva who saves suffering. The Earl drank wine, threw a bowl with Shi, and took turns singing with Simon King. Zaida took the dice and said, Thank you, Hunger, for helping me get to bed. When 3 or 4 o'clock, but something went wrong and a 4 was thrown. The Count said, Zizichin should have 4 cups. Ji Dao Dao. Just take 2 cups. I can't eat them. The scholar filled 2 glasses and ate the first one first, waiting for him to sing. At the table, the 2 counts ate a plateful of water chestnuts. Simon King said, I can't sing. Just tell a joke. Said, a man went to the fruit shop and asked, Are there any Torreya seeds? The man said there was. When he took it to see, the fruit buyer couldn't help but put it into his mouth. The fruit seller said, If you don't buy it, how can you just eat it? The man said, I want him to moisten his lungs. The fruit seller said he said, You have moisturized your lungs, but my heart aches. Everyone laughed. The Earl said, If you feel sorry for me, bring me to more plates. My matchmaker picks up horse manure. It becomes more and more exposed. Zishi ate a lot, the 3rd time as Ximon's celebration. Said, Leave the gold hairpin and the mark. How much does it weigh? 5, 6 or $7. Simon King picked up the dice and rolled a 5. The scholar only poured 2.5 glasses of wine. Zishidao said, Brother has a lot of food and can only eat 2 cups. It doesn't make sense, brother. Just eat for minutes. Just treat it as a filial piety to my family. It's time for the Korean guy to sing. Han Daogarong said, Brother Ben is older. Bai Si said, I can't sing. Just tell a joke. After Simon King had eaten for 2 minutes, Ben Si said, an official asked about adultery. He asked, How did you rape him in the first place? The man said, The head is facing east, and the feet are also facing east. The official said, Nonsense. There is a reason why there is a lack of sexual intercourse. A man next to him came and knelt down and said, Tell me, if there is a lack of torture chamber, wait for the younger brother to make up for it. Earl Ying said, Good 4th brother Ben. You are worthy of being a master. You are a high-ranking official and you are not old. What else can you say? How come you are having sex with him and you are marrying him? When Bai Si heard this, his face turned red and he said, Second uncle, what are you talking about? The villain did it unintentionally. The Count said, What are you talking about? The sandalwood target has no knife, only the scabbard. Bai Si couldn't sit still at the table. And it was difficult to go, as if he was sitting on pins and needles. After Simon King drank 4 minutes of wine, it was his turn to perform 4 rounds of wine. Just when Ben Si was about to pick up the dice, he saw Lianer coming to invite him. Uncle Ben, someone is looking for you outside. I asked him and he said he was from the kiln master. Ben Si was eager to go, and upon hearing this sound, a golden cicada escaped from its shell. Simon King said, "He's gone, Brother Han. Just throw it." Han Daoguo raised the dice and said, "The villain obeyed the order." Said, "Madam will beat the matchmaker with a stick." "How many times?" 80 or 90 times, the Earl said. "It's my turn to sing. If I don't want to sing, I'll tell a joke." The teachers and boys sipped wine together at the banquet, and even your father sips it. Listen to my joke. A Taoist priest, master and disciple went to someone else's house, seeing him off. When he arrived at the donor's door, the apprentice loosened his ribbon and let it hang down. The master said, "Look at that. It looks like he has no butt." The apprentice turned around and replied, "I have no butt." "Master, you can't do it in one day. It won't work." Simon King scolded, "You are a crooked dog. What kind of ivory can come out of a dog's mouth?" Drinking is not a problem here. It is said that Diane came to the front first and called the painting boy, holding a lantern, to pick up Li Pinger from Wu Dezhenzi's house. When Pinger heard that the children at home were crying, she couldn't wait to bow to him and left him to pray for money, so he said goodbye and came home. Wu Dajin and Zhenzi were willing to let him go, at least wait until the two of them go to worship. Yu Nyang said, "Da Zhenzi, you don't know? Just teach him to go to his house. There is no one at home, so the child will cry to him. It doesn't matter if I sit back for a while." Then Wu Dezhenzi let Li Pinger go out. Diane left the painting boy behind and came home first with Kintunger in the sedan. After falling behind, she went to worship, and when the guests dispersed, Yunyang and other 4 people rode in sedan chairs with only 1 lantern. It was August 24th, when the moon was dark. Yunyang asked, "Where are the other lanterns? Why is there only 1? The chess boy said, "Little Yuan brought 2. Diane asked for 1. And Kintong went to Liu Niang's house first. Yunyang didn't ask. That was all. Pan Jinlian was interested, so she asked the chess boy, "How many do you want to bring?" The chess boy said, "The younger one," and the piano boy brought 2. And the lagging Diane and the painting boy asked for another 1. And the painting boy after that. I and Kintong went to follow Liu Niang first. Jinlian said, "Dioan, that Chi Zhenzi. He didn't bring a lantern." The painting boy said, "He and I brought another lantern." Jinlian said, "Since I only have 1, why do I ask you for this one?" The chess boy said, "I told you, but he took it by force." Jinlian then called Wu Yunyang, "Sister, look at Diane, a thieves and dedicated slave. Wait until you get home and answer him." Yunyang said, "Nai Fan, the child is waiting at home. Just ask him to be beaten." Jinlian said, "Sister, that's not what you're talking about. That's all I care about. You are a big lady, and you don't have a lot of skills. It's fine on a sunny day, but when the moon is dark, the 4 sedans are lit with only 1 lantern. What do you care about?" As he said, the sedan arrived at the door. Yunyang and Li Jiar went to the back. As soon as Jinlian and Meng Yulu got off the sedan, they asked, "Where is Danner?" Ping'an said, "You're waiting at the back." Just as he said that, Diane came out and was scolded by Jinlian. "I'm here. You are the root of hard work. Tomorrow you will only recognize that you will only pick up the lucky ones and don't have to kick your feet. There is only a lantern burning, and I believe that the world has taken another one." He also changed the young boy. He carried a sedan chair and held 2 lanterns. We carried 4 sedan chairs and held a lantern. Aren't we father's wives? Diane said, "Mother is wrong and the younger one is." When my father saw his brother crying, he taught the younger one, "Hurry up and light a lantern to pick up your mother. Please come home first. I'm afraid I'll break my heart from crying. Why don't you stop me, so I can take care of you?" Jinlian said, "You idiot. Don't talk. He taught you to catch it, but he didn't teach you to bring all the lanterns. Brother, your birds only fly in prosperous places. Don't admit it. There is a lantern on the cold stove. It's better to have a handle on the hot stove. Are we born with no luck? Diane said. What did mother say? But the little one had such a heart and broke his chest while riding a horse, Jin Lian said. You deceitful prisoner. Don't panic. I'll clean my eyes and look at you. With that, he and Yulu went back. Na Diane said to everyone, I am a poor man. My father sent me to pick him up, but I was scolded by Wu Niang. Yulu and Jin Lian arrived at the front of Yimin and bumped into Lianer, asking, Where is your father? Lian said, Dad, Ying'er's father, Xi's father, and Uncle Han are still having wine in the scroll shed. Brother Shedong I pretended to be a singer and sang there, and my mother would look at her every time. The two of them walked outside the wooden shed and looked inside. I saw Earl Ying sitting on it, his hat tilted upright, and he was so drunk that he only held it up. Zishi was so drunk that he couldn't keep his eyes open. The book boy dressed up and poured wine and sang southern songs. Simon King secretly asked Kintunger to smear the count's face with powder, and then quietly used a grass circle to play on his head from behind. Bao Jinlian and Yulu couldn't help but laugh outside and scolded, Thieves and prisoner root. Even if you die tomorrow, you won't be guilty anymore. You have exposed all your ugliness. Simon King heard the laughter outside and asked the servant to come out and ask who it was. The two of them went back. By the time we left, the weather had changed. Simon King went to sleep in Li Ping'er's room that day. Jinlian returned to her room and asked Chunmai, What did Li Ping'er say when he came home? Chunmai said, Nothing. Jinlian asked again, Has that shameless person ever come into his room? Chunmai said, When Liu Nian came home, my father went into his room twice. Jinlian said, Did you really pick him up because he was crying? Chunmai said, It's no wonder that the child cried all night long. He cried even when he was holding him, and he cried when he put him down. There was nothing he could do about it. I told my father before that the child was crying, come and pick her up. Jinlian said, If it's this level, that's it. I said it's a shameless thing, so I'll pick it up in 9 ways. Then he asked, Whose clothes is that servant of the book boy wearing? Chunmai said, Ask me first. And then I scolded Diane and went out. I fell behind and borrowed the Yuxiao. Jinlian said, If you come again, don't wear it with the slaves. After saying that, when Simon King didn't come, Jing'er closed the door and fell asleep. Let's also say that Earl Ying met the 4th foreman and made money on Zhuangzi. And tomorrow he will use the money to buy a house from the 5th emperor's relatives. It can be said that he has a few taels of silver at least. During the execution of the order, it can be seen that Bai Si was not prepared and told this joke. The count therefore made him aware of his mistake. As expected, Bai Si was frightened. The next day, he sealed 3 taels of silver and went to the earl's house to kowtow. The earl hit back at Zhang Jing'er and said, I have never done my best for you, so why did I do this? Ben Zi said, The villain has always been disrespectful. Sooner or later, I only hope that my second uncle will support me in front of my father. That's enough. I'm so grateful. The count collected the money, waited for a while for tea, and sent Bai Si out. He took the money to the room and said to his wife, I don't want to be cruel. My wife has no cloth skirt. Bai Si is a dog that can chew on me. I will give him a guarantee. He will get the business and earn his own living, so there is no need for him. I was killed. The high official taught him to manage the work in the village. And tomorrow he was asked to bring money to finance the 5 villages, and the money he had been earning was also deducted. Yesterday at the banquet, I made a mistake with my words, and he panicked. I'm not afraid that he won't come to beg me today. He gave me 3 taels of silver, and I'll buy some pieces of cloth to tie the children's winter clothes. Exactly, I just hate that idle worries turn into troubles, but I don't know that wisdom is worse than stupidity.
Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.